Let's make it count.
I must practice tolerance. Next, GSL Season 3. Reversal.
So let it all burn down. I know you want it. So let it all burn down.
What's up, everybody? We're back here at GSL Code S. It's time to start the round of 8. And for one of the only days ever here in GSL, we're working on Tuesday. We also have another cast tomorrow, and then it's Korean Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So the whole round of 8 is going to be done in 2 days.
Yeah, today and
immediately.
tomorrow.
Yes.
So we are ripping right through there. And then a little bit of time off while we wait for that round of 4 as we finish up the last season of GSL this year.
That's right.
Starting to lock in those players for BlizzCon Tasteless. The foreigners are all decided. It's time to decide some of these Koreans tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to eliminate a couple of them.
This is an especially important part of the tournament for WCS points here. So a lot of pressure. We do have TY, he's obviously, you guys know him as a great player, but he also is casting this season. So we have a funny situation where he's been casting most of the tournament, but he's been getting far enough in this. He's been casting less and less. So we have Sue casting with us today.
Yeah. Well, not with us, but with us.
He's with us in spirit.
Yeah. And, well, with us as a company, I guess.
So here's what the bracket looks like right now. Dark versus TY, Rogue versus Zest, Keen versus Trap, and Maru versus Ragnarok.
Yeah, and we are doing the left side right now tonight. Dark versus TY and Keen versus Trap. And then tomorrow night we'll be doing Rogue versus Zest and Maru versus Ragnarok. I mean, I said it before, the top part of the bracket looks like a round of 4. It's insane. And then the bottom looks like a round of 32 group. So it's kind of really funny, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for Keen, especially today. I get happy for these guys when they've been playing for almost as long as the show's been going on, and then they finally reach a new milestone. In this case, Keen getting to the round of 8. I think Trap definitely the favorite there. Dark vs. TY is going to be interesting as well. Dark, just recently, as of late, has not been playing as well as we would have hoped. In GSL versus the World specifically, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, well, he just won GSL Tasteless,
No,
so
I was certainly not referencing that.
You need to jump over here head first.
In GSL versus the World, he underperformed. He was the captain of one of the teams. Got eliminated in the brackets early. Anyways, we got an interview, and then we're going to go into our match.
Hello everyone and welcome to GSL. So today we have the 4,000th game starting off today. And before we get into the 4,000th game, we're going to have a pre-match interview. And the current WCS Korean ranking #1 Dark is going up against TY today. And it's a phenomenal matchup today. Hello TY. Hello Dark. Okay, let's speak to Dark first. And Dark, you don't seem to have any type of jinx after winning the championship last season. And after looking at the round of 8 bracket, you said that you're really happy. So how are you feeling today? Well, I feel more comfortable than other players right now. Well, I feel like TY is easier compared to other players because I've never lost to him before. Okay, now let's speak with TY. And TY, you made it here after 2 seasons. And you said that you had to go through a lot of experiments before facing off Dark. What do you think? Well, in the process of practicing, I've had several scrims with Rogue, and he helped me a lot. And I think he's the best Zerg right now, so no problem. And Dark seems so confident right now. Well, looking at the head-to-head record, he's clearly a lot ahead, so I'm a little scared. But I feel like Dark has a lot to lose compared to me. So as a perspective of challenger, I'm going to enjoy my game today. I think you guys are going to have quite contradicting mindsets today. Since Dark has already confirmed his spot in the BlizzCon, and TY is currently ranked 9th.
9위로 오늘 꼭
So
이겨야
he needs
블리즈컨
to take the win today
높은데요.
in order to go to BlizzCon.
간절하실 것 같아요.
So you probably feel desperate, right?
한 만큼
Yes, that's
박명호
right.
선수를 이겨야만이 블리즈컨에 갈 수
So
있을
I'm gonna have to
자격이 있다고
beat
생각을
Dark
하고
to earn the qualification to
지금
BlizzCon.
이 순간 박명호 선수에게 지면은 블리즈컨에서 또 진다고 생각을
And
하기
if I
때문에
lose to
오늘
Dark,
경기가
I'm gonna lose in
굉장히
BlizzCon
중요한
anyway.
하루가 될 것 같아요.
So I'm gonna just play with full
여러모로
confidence.
여유가 넘치실 것 같은데요. 오늘 좀 편한
And Dark, you seem
마음이신가요?
so comfortable today. How are you feeling?
저한테 잃을 게 많다고 하셨는데
Well, TY said I have lots to
걸린
lose,
거는 태양 형이 더 많거든요.
but I feel like
블리즈컨도
TY
걸려
actually
있고
has a lot to lose as well.
걸려 있는데 저는 뭐 너무 편하기 때문에
As for me, I'm just so
본 실력이 좀
comfortable,
나올 것 같아요.
and I think I can play with full performance
오늘
today.
또 다른 재미가 바로 해설이 어윤수
And
선수입니다.
another joy is that
선수와
the caster right now in placement is Sue.
좀 선배가 당연히 나를 응원하겠지
And
생각을
Sue
하고
was in the same team as Dark.
오셨어요?
Did Sue cheer for you, Dark?
옛날이었으면은 받았을 텐데 아마
Well,
태양 형이 올라가면 올라갈수록
if it was
윤수
before,
형의 자리가 생기는
he probably would have
태양
rooted for me.
형은 응원할 것 같아요.
But since TY, if TY wins,
확실히
Sue gets
GSL
to keep
해설
casting,
동반자죠.
so I'm not sure.
어윤수 선수의 응원을 좀 받을 거라
Did
예상하시나요?
Sue cheer for you, TY?
아무래도 약간 운명 공동체의 느낌이
Yes,
있어서
that's right.
당연히 응원할 거라고
Sue
생각을
did,
하고
Sue's probably gonna cheer for me right now.
실제로도 어제 새벽에 윤수 형이랑 연습을 굉장히 도움을 많이
And I
받아서
actually did get a lot of help from
확신하고
Sue
있습니다.
at midnight.
연락이 안 오고 그때 도와주고 계셨네요.
And yeah, Sue's been
그렇습니다.
screaming with TY
자, 오늘
apparently.
이 결승급 대진
And
많은
this
분들이
matchup
기대하고 있는
seems
매치업이기도
really,
한데요.
really hype.
마지막으로 서로에게 한마디
And
들어보겠습니다.
before we get into the actual
강대훈
match,
선수?
would you like to send a message to each other?
항상 많이 져왔기 때문에
Well, I've lost to him
이번에
so many times.
진다고 크게 달라지지
And
않을
losing
거라고
this one, I
생각하고
don't think
마음을
it's gonna make
편하게
any
굉장히
difference.
먹고 왔어요. 그래서 지금 정말
So I came here
재밌게 도전자의
with a really
입장으로
firm mindset.
우승자에게 한번 도전하고
So I'm
싶습니다.
gonna challenge
네,
the
우승자로서
king to his
전태환
throne.
선수의 도전을 받는데요. 마지막으로 한 말씀 해주시죠.
And Dark, you.
제가 15년도쯤인가 딱 한 세트 못 따가지고
In
블리즈컨을 못 갔거든요.
2015,
근데
I
진짜
couldn't go to
너무
BlizzCon because of one set.
화가 많이 났는데
So I was really angry at the
그런 걸
time.
생각하면 태양 형이 부담이 좀 많이 될 것
So
같아요.
I'm thinking of the time. I think TY's gonna be quite pressured today.
아니요. 가려면은 좀 이렇게 부담감을 가지고 해야 되지 않나.
You know, in order to qualify to BlizzCon, I think he's gonna have to put up
자,
a
이렇게
very
서로에게
good
훈훈한
performance.
한마디까지 들어봤는데요. 2019 마운틴듀 GSL
And
시즌 3
2019 Mountain Dew GSL Codes Renovate.
잠시 후면
Let's see
탄생합니다.
who comes
두
out
선수 모두
in this match.
상대 종족전 승률이
And the two players actually boast around 70% win rate in the CVT matchup.
본격적으로 시작하겠습니다.
So let's kick off the match.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
Who do you think takes it, Artosis?
Well, I think Dark takes it, but I do want to point out that we still have Super Tournament too, so this is not actually TOI's last chance if he does end up losing. There's a possibility that a good showing in Super Tournament 2 could get him to BlizzCon as well.
Well, there might also be something we don't know. Maybe he's agreed to cast all of Super Tournament. I actually don't know. I would assume not, but I mean, I would assume he still has a shot, but if Super Tournament's only 4 days,
yeah, I kind of.
It would probably depend on the availability of Sue. I don't know, but if he's saying
the thing is, they go way down the rabbit hole for casters. We'll go all the way to SOS if we have to. You know, it doesn't matter. So
it's true.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Just saying. But yeah, looking at this, I think that Dark is favored going right now. I think in general, Zerg versus Terran is a little bit on the Zerg side, and we're seeing that kind of play out, but. TY is such a smart player. I want to see what he brings. The thing is, his style is generally a little bit slower. He's not as sharp a TVZ player in the early and mid game like Amaru or an Innovation. He's more someone who will grind you out over the long term, and that's very difficult in the current metagame. So I want to see like what TY has brought here today, because I think he has to approach Dark in a different way than he normally plays his TVZs, if that makes sense.
Well, he's had plenty of time to prepare. Sue and TY, what is it, moonlighting, meeting at midnight to come up with builds and strategies.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool to see how this game goes. Again, Dark ranked #1 in WCS, but did just, I should say, has just now come back from a disappointing showing in GSL versus the World here to redeem himself, here to win a GSL Code S again. But TY, you know, I mean, he's a caster. I mean, those guys are really good.
Well, we're going to see about that in a moment basis.
How good can they be?
Yeah.
Map 1 is on Thunderbird, and that is just loaded up. So let's start our best of 5 now. There it is, 4,000.
Whoa!
Does this mean the world ends? What happens now?
Gosu Crew, Dark.
4,000 matches.
4,000.
In each match.
Is it just GSL Code S, right? Or are we counting everything?
I don't know if we count super tournaments or not. I would imagine we count the first 3 seasons because they were basically the same thing.
Splice, TY.
Yeah, I don't know. What if someone goes through and counts and realizes that someone made up this number? Like someone in the Freaka TV office was given the task to count how many matches there have been, and they got lazy, and they're like, it's probably like 3,700.
Like, there's only been 1,600 matches. We're like, oh, we probably should have checked that. It felt like 4,000 at this point in time for how long we've been doing this.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, I am interested to see what TY brings. Not as much with Dark. You know, are we going to go into very long games? Is he going to bring out more mech or bio? If he has to go to that late game, what style is he going to utilize there?
Lots of people in the studio today, despite the weather being post-apocalyptic outside. Thank you for coming down, guys. It's been wet, it's been rainy, it's been dark in Seoul lately.
It's dark in the studio too.
Nice.
The lights are off, Tasteless. And Dark's playing. So, looks like a very fast third command center here for TY. So he's going to go into a highly economic build, 2 open, getting just the Reaper, no factor or anything. Or, no, I'm sorry, I'm so crazy right now. I wasn't looking at the screen for a minute. That is a regular command center. I was like, wow, that's the fastest third I've ever seen.
It's the third's before his second even.
That doesn't even make sense. I know. Anyways, yeah, I mean, Thunderbird is kind of the big macro map right now. See a lot of longer games here. Was this the map where we saw Maru, with the mass nuke Thor type strat, right? Against Ragnarok?
Yeah, I believe
was it against Ragnarok? No, it was against Solar, I believe.
Yeah, against Solar, driving him back.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go into a game that long. I feel like TY is not going to be able to have the stamina to take on Dark, who is so good at Supreme late game, you know?
Well, TY, in my opinion, for the longest time, until Maru really stepped up and became the god of Terran, I think he was actually the best late game TVZ for years. He was phenomenal at it. It's just late game TVZ is hard right now. Oh, for certain, I think he was much better late game than Innovation.
Really?
Yes. Like, the thing is, Innovation, like, I think that people's assessment of what Innovation is good at is actually wrong a lot of the time. Like, he's so good mechanically, but being good mechanically makes you a god at things like timing attacks, not necessarily at complex tactical army movement late game, right? Those are two very, very different things, and that's what TY specifically is very good at.
Yeah, tactically, he always had the best. Well, he always set up the best positions for really good tactics. Does that make sense? It wasn't just that he tactically was very good. He knew how to bring the game into a position where he could actually utilize that.
Yeah, and the way he rotates his armies around, he makes very, very smart moves later in the game.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so it's weird because, you know, Dark mentioned that TY hadn't beaten him. I mean, when you look at it, the style of TY is he wants to get into that later game. And Dark is a player that is also actually very good at the late game.
Do you think Terrans have to approach this matchup the way that Protoss have started to lately in the meta, where a lot of Protoss say, we're actually trying to avoid late game? Should Terrans be doing the same? Because we've seen a lot of Terrans welcome the late game, and then Broodling Infestor is just way better. I mean, Terran have tools, but it seems like, at least on the Zerg side, whether it's the way the units operate or the skill of the players, they're certainly exchanging their armies, getting a lot more value than the Terrans are. So, I mean, would it be worth perhaps Terran trying to do more timing-specific things or do more cheesy stuff? Or
yeah, I think that's how the metagame should shift right now for the Terrans that actually want to win their matches against these very top-of-the-world Zergs. That's just my opinion. We'll see if that turns out to be the case. TY right now, though, he's going into Battle Mech. So, kind of an interesting choice from him. Not something I really think of when I think of TY. Like, I do think of his mech, but Battle Mech is specifically not as much, as it's slightly one-dimensional. but I kind of appreciate that he's going into it, no BCs or anything like that. He's getting into it very quickly. So it seems like this is going to be rather aggressive from him. Like, there's not even an armory upgrading or anything right now, right? So he's making the units and he's going. There's no...
He's looking for a fight.
Yeah.
So he's going to poke in here. There's enough roaches to keep the Terran player from going too crazy here, but right now not quite enough to stop this creep from being pushed back. So good control here by Dark. This is really doing a lot with the absolute bare minimum. He pulls his queens in a little bit later to try to help the fight.
It's awesome to see this barracks come up as well right now. It just kind of gives that little bit of extra vision so that he can stay locked on longer.
Yeah.
Get a bit more damage with those Cyclones. Almost done with the Cyclone upgrade, so definitely going to add a lot of damage at that point.
16 Morlings coming. There's still a decent amount of roaches here to try to fight this.
I thought I saw him make 2 siege tanks, but I think he may have canceled them and gone into more Cyclones, but not 100% on that.
Okay, the Lings are coming up, and the Hellion count's still big enough that the Lings have to respect the presence of the Hellions, and we haven't seen Zerg lose anything major yet. I mean, mostly this has been a skirmish over the creep, which has been keeping those creep tumors back.
Well, the more you can force drones and Lings out, that's pretty good, because we see that the drone count is not going as high as quickly as you would really want from Dark. Oh man, but this little Ling run by is awesome.
Yeah,
look at that.
So cool to catch those 2 reinforcing Cyclones. Now you can go in here and try to get some SCVs. This means this army is going to get thinned out here, especially with the reinforcements being so available, because he's so adjacent to his production here.
Yeah, the Lings actually, I mean, I think they did a pretty good job. They've killed a few SCVs, lost some mining time. Oh wow, 5 now? Okay, so 5 at the end of the day. Slows the reinforcements, which is gigantic. The pressure is completely off Dark for a moment. You can see him immediately start to grab some extra drones. So now suddenly he goes from, he was at like 58 during most of that micro battle against the battle mech, and now he's up in the 70s where he really wants to be.
TY continuing to press forward here, but I feel like Dark is absolutely getting into a place in this game that he was aiming for. 26 more Lings actually being produced now. We're getting very close to Zerg being maxed out.
You know, going up into the hive, getting the pathogen glands and Hydral's den and all that. Seems like Dark is kind of continuing the way that he wants. And with TY, yeah, I feel like this is kind of smart, right? Like, he should be adding in some Hydras and going into Vipers, if I'm not
Dark,
mistaken.
right?
Yeah. No, I think TY should get the Vipers, but unfortunately he has no access to them.
Do you feel like he should have been able to make tanks earlier? Should he have tried to do that? Because he's not going to have the same kind of push potential.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to keep pressure on so that there couldn't be enough droning going on, and maybe he catches Dark being a little bit over greedy. But he is adding a lot of tanks now and even adding a few Liberators in here. So TY is going to do a very strong push. But once those Vipers get out, right, the Hive is about to finish. Like, the Vipers are just so strong against something like this.
Okay.
Unless he just skips them because he did make the Infestors, but let's see here. The Hive is done.
Okay, tanks are coming forward now, setting up a hard push. He's got a turret down here being placed. The tanks are sieging up, and the splash damage is going to be huge here against Dark, losing all of those Lings.
And the placement of these siege tanks is just so powerful. A very nice fungal goes down, so that's good.
You know, when it's just Ravagers, it's generally not a good fight for you when you're against all these mech units here. He doesn't quite have an easy way to get up there in Corrosive Bile. Those tanks without basically sacrificing the Ravagers that he already has and possibly losing this fight. Now he's come in here. The Liberation Zones can be set up in a really nice pattern.
And I tell you, he made a lot of roaches here, so he might be able to just bust through everything that TY has at this point.
Yeah, that was really patient play there by Dark. He just held him off for long enough, and then as he macroed out enough of an army, he came through. He smashed the tank count, resetting that. I think he can easily seesaw the fight back over to where the 4th base is. And it might be tough, actually, for TY to hold this. I'm not sure. What is it, just 1 siege tank?
Yeah, I think he'll hold. I feel like he's kind of trading in a few of these units, seeing what he can get done. TY is sitting on 4 bases, but it doesn't feel like he has a good continuation from here. At this point, what do you do? You remake your mech units. Whereas Dark is actually adding more tech, and he's having a better unit composition at this point. He's finally getting those Vipers in.
So, more scans coming down here. again, with the army that Dark has, it does feel like compared to TY, TY was trying to halt Dark's progress through very specific points in this game and come in with punishes, which is where Dark is doing kind of the classic perfect Zerg balancing act of holding off everything that they have while teching ahead to get into a superior position late game. Also, we have a Nidus network coming here, so he's going to pop a Nidus Worm either right outside or somewhere inside the Terran's base.
Yeah, very good against this type of play as well.
Especially when you have this type of mech play and the tank count's limited, you can absolutely come into a certain point where the tanks are not there and therefore really start your push.
And look at this creep spread just grow. Like, Dark is taking another base, so he's going up to 5. His creep spread is phenomenal, so it's very hard for TY to do anything, right? Every time he jumps on creep, Dark is just there and defending. Yeah, this is tough. Look at that. He's actually getting a lurker den. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's going to pair with the Nidus for like a move into the main base or something.
Yeah, maybe pop in there, get some kind of really good position where Terran has to actually really fight to try to reclaim it.
I could see him also maybe setting up a couple defensive lurkers. We did see Armani try hold position lurkers, which was really cute, but I could see like defensive lurkers against some of these Hellion moves. But yeah, I am wondering what he's going to do with the lurker den specifically. It's kind of an interesting little change from Dark.
This might get weird for a second here because it looks like Terran's trying to move out at the same time that Zerg is clearly about to set up for some big attack. The Overseer, by the way, at the bottom of the map is going to go into the main here, and the mech unit's being out in the middle of the map with no easy way to get back home immediately. I do not believe that TY will be able to prevent this Nidus network that's going to pop in here.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if he was able to do that while he's doing all these pushes right now. He set up a couple Liberators over on the other side of the map as well. Looks like they've already both been taken care of. Now, here comes that Nidus. Does TY see it? It doesn't seem like he does. Oh, there he does.
Okay.
Finally.
He's come in here to react. Let's see how quickly the army can filter out here. The Cyclones just now get into position. Second Nidus network coming out. Just a few Roaches and Hydras coming out, but already the second Nidus is coming in here. And even with this small number, he's still able to fight off a lot of these mech units over here and actually winning some of the fights in the middle of the map.
Wow, really rough stuff right now.
Oh my God.
My God,
This double Nidus play.
So much damage.
We've seen Cyril do this in the past, and you can really exploit where the Terran is. And the funny thing is these Nidus networks are actually next to each other, and it's still working.
It's just some intense damage going on. TY having a hard time. He still has a good amount of workers. He's got really reasonable upgrades as well. And it's not like this is truly an endgame army yet from Dark. It's still kind of like a late mid-game type of army. So while he's doing damage, you know, this isn't like we see a bunch of Broodlord Infestor and we're like, okay, well, all your buildings will die if you stay in the game, you know?
Yeah.
It's like he can technically hold on. TY can probably even max again. But what options does he have for winning the game?
Yeah, well, especially with what we know now about the nature of ZVT here, where I think Dark, as long as he could get the game to go on this long, he has so many different tech options. And let's see how the lurkers pan out here in this game, because this is not what a lot of Zergs, or almost any other Zergs, are doing right now.
No one does this against tanks.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. That would be like the unit that beats you other than like a BC.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see what the story is here with this. Now, here comes the more ordinary tech, which is a Greater Spire.
Yeah.
So Broodlords are eventually going to be an end goal in this game, but yeah, let's see what he does with those lurkers.
I bet you he's just going to hold position them.
Oh, you think he just is going to wait for the Terran to push out? I guess there's no Ravens here with the army. Terran can push out. He can unhold position the lurkers and completely destroy the entire army.
Yeah, it'll almost one-shot it with that many lurkers. Yeah. And if you get that off one time, it's amazing. And it's going to make your opponent and all of your future opponents paranoid of that move. So
yeah, this is
that
almost
could be something very, very powerful.
You know, there's sort of a collective knowledge that all these players have about each other, but playing like this in just one game puts yeah, he sees it now. But it does put it into the ecosystem like, hey, this is something I might do.
Yeah, yeah. And
you better be ready for this.
It happened once before that we've seen from Armani, maybe Season 1, if I can remember correctly. And, of course, he kind of got crushed out of GSL right away, as he oftentimes does. So I think it got completely overlooked. But, you know, it is a move. It's especially a real move in StarCraft 1, but technically you can do it in StarCraft 2 as well. Oh, what weird drop is this one? Here? The Hellbat Siege Tank drop.
This is in the campaign right now.
What am I looking at? Edmund Duke right there.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cover me.
I'll siege up here. I'm assuming he wanted to free up just a little bit of supply or something. I don't know.
Maybe he just thought that was a reasonable drop. I really don't know. It's so weird. If he accidentally picked up the wrong units and wanted 2 Hellbats, that would make the most sense to me.
Playing too fast.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, he has adaptive talons, so that's pretty good, I guess.
Nicely done. Harpoons that. This is going to be great as the game will soon be transitioning into more Broodlords. By the way, the second Spire is coming down here to get a lot of air upgrades.
You know, I guess one cool thing about adaptive talon lurkers is that the speed of your siege and unsiege, like, you're so much quicker. You can make those tanks re-siege so many times. You know, the range differential is not that much.
Very true.
All right, Neural Parasite coming down. Continued upgrades here for Dark.
Terran's actually going to try to claim this area right here. Let's see if Zerg can actually fight through this. Now, it's Lurkers versus tanks, but Blinding Clouds is going to make the tanks in the back obsolete. We have more tanks relocating here, but the number of Hydras and the damage output that's over here is pretty insane. The Lurkers are going to push in forward, and I think as he gets rid of these Lurkers, he's going to refill his supply with more optimal units.
Yeah, I doubt that we will see those remade. Did those even do a good job? I guess he thinks they did because he's making 6 more. I'm not sure. It's an honest question here, and it's a rhetorical question too, because I doubt if you're sure either. Did those Lurkers do a good job?
I didn't think so.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
But, you know, we can point out that Dark has a lot of minerals and gas banked up, and maybe he feels like he can actually engage better with Lurker Hydra. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but compared to Broodlord, maybe that's the idea, is he's like, I can at least pick some fights, because Terran's eventually going to run out of resources that are tucked into the bottom right side of the map and be more reliant on resources closer to the middle. And then maybe Zerg can push him there. I don't know, though. That's my shot in the dark there.
Sure. Let's not forget, you're not well practiced playing against this. You're well practiced playing against, like, Broodlords, for instance.
This is true.
But look, he's making some cool moves on 2 fronts right now with the Lurkers, kind of covering for the Hydra.
I guess a lot of times when the tank counts get reduced so heavily, it's much easier to split up Hydras and Lurkers everywhere. And then hit different locations because they just don't have enough tanks everywhere to fight it. So it's like on paper it would seem like the Lurkers are much better, or I mean much worse, excuse me, against tanks, because tanks just have longer range and are already going to be sieged up. But if you win a big fight somewhere and they can hit other locations like we're seeing here, it doesn't seem like the tanks can be spread out as easily to defend everywhere. Look, he just comes down here, he's going to wipe out all the SCVs repairing this.
Yeah, in like 2 seconds. He has 2-3 volleys and everything's gone.
Okay, and then he can leave again, and even if he didn't, with Army, versus Army didn't trade effectively, I mean, Dark is so rich, he is out of touch.
He is out of touch. He thinks Lurkers cost $45.
He thinks everybody has a livid maid. Yeah. Okay, this guy is so rich. He's never made his own bed.
I've never made my own bed either, but
I don't make my bed. But
nice insta-land there.
I'm actually against making my own bed. It's weird.
Yeah?
I'm just going to get back into it. Just like leave the blankets as it is.
Huh. I could have sworn I saw you reading a book about making beds.
I bought the book, but I didn't make my bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess the book was garbage then.
It didn't sell me on that one.
All right. This has been such a peculiar game, and it really feels like Dark is invincible at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this is kind of the power of Zerg in the late game here. Is when they get all these tools and are able to capitalize on enough of the map, especially in this matchup, but in PV or ZVP as well. Then they're able to use these techs in such a way that they can zone a Terran out to where they're in a pretty tough spot in the late game. Because here's that finishing army. Here's the Broodlords. Yeah. We have Infestors underneath it. And look at how broke TY is. Not maxed out, by the way. Actually, I guess this is much closer than I'm giving it credit for, really. It's 182 supply to 146. I just think that Zerg should just have enough more to win this fight, and then TY is going to be out of options.
The tech switch was very strong here. He definitely has so many siege tanks that he does not need or want against mass brutes.
It's going to be very hard to get enough Vikings to fight this.
Yeah. By the way, I do like the fact that he's added in some Ravens. It seemed, well, obviously the armor shred is reasonable always, but I like the idea of interference matrix maybe to preempt some of the Viper play that's going on because these parasitic bombs are so strong against the Vikings. So kind of a neat little add there. I could see that being something that could catch on over time.
Okay. Siege tanks come forward to push in, but I feel like this is just going to get completely pulverized. I mean, there's no easy way to hold this location. Dark actually has the ability, yeah, beat me to it, to just wipe this out over here. That's it, GG. Dark closing that out by winning 2 battles at once, both defending his 12 o'clock spot and crushing the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that was, it was very, very strong play from Dark. I felt like the first real turning point of this game was that Ling counterattack that killed the 2 Cyclones. Because it felt like a build where TY wanted to put enough pressure on that Dark continually had to defend and make units instead of drones. It felt like it was supposed to be that into a strong siege tank timing push, maybe a pre-Viper type push. I think that's what TY was going for. But all the pressure came off the second the Ling counterattack went. It killed extra units, it killed extra SCVs, it slowed down mining, it slowed down reinforcements, it took the pressure off Dark. So I feel like from A to Z there, Dark played a magnificent game and TY was unable to keep up.
We're going to Triton now. Dark versus TY is going to continue on, but Dark crushing TY, exhibiting the sheer strength of Zerg late game. TY looked pretty solid, but eventually when Dark got ahead, he never let go of that lead. Game 2 is ready. Let's continue our series on.
Fight! Gosu Crew, Dark. Splice, TY.
Did I see that correctly? Did he go? I believe I just saw him go from nothing on production tab to 2 drones on the production tab.
Oh, did he do like something like scratch his nose and then have to go back and?
Well, you know that yeah, I don't know, but it looked weird to me. It should be like 1 then 2, but I think I saw insta 2, so I don't know. But anyways, whatever. Triton our map. Dark obviously looking strong there. Very weird play
from Switzerland. Welcome.
Ooh, cool. But from Switzerland, you say? Can't say neutral about this match, can you?
Certainly you cannot, Artosis.
You gotta be rooting for somebody. Yeah, so the Hydra Lurker stuff I find so fascinating.
So let's try to unpack that. I mean, from what I saw back there, and we've seen in a lot of ZVT's players get to Broodlords I would not say very quickly, but quicker than we saw Dark do in the last game. And it does seem like, although the Terran cannot kill the Zerg cannot prevent the Terran from almost going even on bases. And maybe, and I might be totally wrong on this, but maybe it's possible that the Zerg feels like they can take more fights in different locations with that, or like try to do hold position lurkers, or maybe there's tactics there that are more available to them, and that if they can keep Terran fighting more, Terran trades less efficiently, and then you want to switch into that. Okay. Maybe.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not sure, because as we said before, straight up lurkers fighting straight up tanks. I mean, tanks are just better units.
Yeah, in a very straight up engagement, 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Now I have a few thoughts. I talked about it a little bit with Ragnarok, I believe, on Saturday. Was it? What day of the week are we on? Yeah, it would have been Saturday.
Today's Tuesday.
Right?
Yeah.
Where I was talking about how the late game, it's like people are trying to stop you from getting the late game, so Ragnarok seems to be focusing a little bit more in the mid game and not rushing as quickly into Infestor, so he can't be caught being greedy.
Yeah.
So when people bring out their attacks or something, he has enough units. This build that we just saw from Dark felt somewhat like that, where he's like, you know I want to get into Infestor Broodlord. But I'm not going to do it too quickly because I want to smash whatever thing you're trying to do to stop me from getting there. It also felt like this was a very good composition with the Nidus play, especially with Adaptive Talons.
Yeah.
Because if you think, how do Terrans hold fringe bases on these big maps? It's a planetary buys time for the rest of the army to get there, right? That's kind of what it is. There's like it's hard to kill a planetary. So with the lurkers, he's immediately eliminating everything, right? Like all the SCVs, and you can't just send like, you know, Hellion Cyclone or something into it because the lurkers will destroy it. So you have to unsiege tanks, walk them over, and siege them. And in that time, you can easily, with Adaptive Talons, run back through the Nidus, pop out somewhere else. So
well, also, the way that Zergs are able to use Nidus is now where they have several ready. Almost like it's you know, a way to... The moment that Terran really try to push, and one thing about Terrans pushing, especially if they're going mech and going into siege tanks, and I know this game we have Bio, by the way, with the Banshee cloak coming out, but just to continue, to unpack this, I think that the fact that Terran have to siege up when they're going mech, and try to push that way makes multi-pronged Nidus attacks even better. But let's go ahead and just talk about this game now, because the action picked up a lot more quickly than I was expecting here, as we were unpacking what happened in Game 1. Now, this is a lot of SCVs getting killed. Zerg kind of committed in here by having his Ravagers run up the ramp, but this was a decent number of kills. It was 11 SCV kills, and now Zerg is back droning up.
Well, there's no spores here, so there's going to be a lot of counter damage that's going to occur. Sure, he lost a lot of SCVs, but I feel like that same amount of drones can easily be killed at this point. So Dark definitely getting his punishment for pulling off this very aggressive move. Let's see where they actually end up. This is like really funny to see just how many workers are killing for each other. This feels like early Wings of Liberty to me.
Yeah,
where
we just always have a Banshee kill 13 units.
Yeah, no, that part as well, but just the huge number of workers that are killed on both sides. I'm like, neither of you know how to defend.
This can't
really
be how the
comical.
game's supposed to look. It's like when we used to see people all the time both attacking rocks on opposite sides, the same set of rocks, where it's like, well, somebody's wrong here. Somebody should not want to have a fight. This is not how it works.
Yeah, I remember back in the day about Banshees, it was funny because we would just be like, why would anyone not make a Banshee? They never didn't get double-digit kills, ever.
Yeah.
It didn't happen for years.
Yeah.
It took literally the best foe you to have Banshees with no kills because you would fly them right into turrets.
That's right. Okay, Stim's coming.
Yeah, so this bio-based play, are you happy to be seeing bio out of him this game?
I mean, I guess it depends on how it goes. I think it's wise for him to try a completely different unit comp after being shut down so heavily.
I like the bio switch. I think it's intelligent.
It just does seem like with some of these players that are like ultimate endgame Zerg players, I'm not sure that mech is the right choice.
It doesn't feel like it has any kill potential.
Yeah, you had this one where they
Not
push
early.
out with Cyclones and Hellions, and then Zerg just doesn't die to it, and then they get to where the part of the game they need to be.
It's like your very expensive units. Every time I see it, like a Thor abducted, I'm like, no, that costs too much money for that to happen to that.
It feels like when the Thor gets abducted, it should actually instead pull the unit towards the Thor.
Yeah,
where it's
that's
like,
true.
you can't do that. This is too heavy.
The little tongue of the Viper comes
like
out, and
it
Thor's
pulls
like,
a giant
what is
robot
this?
off
And
the
he
ground.
grabs
In fact, I'm proposing in the next patch we just have that for people that misclick.
I definitely agree. And I
How
also,
strong of a tongue?
you know what else I think?
Yeah.
Is, you know those games in the arcade where like there's the spiders and you shoot them with your friend and it costs like $20 to beat the game if you play really well? You know what I'm talking about, right? You sit in the little booth. It's like the infested temple or something.
Yeah, you're talking like in a movie theater.
Yeah, in the arcades of a movie theater.
It's one of the bad arcade games in a movie theater.
Yeah, like the pirate game or the spider game. The spider game is the one
I think
they
with
have
the
all over
arcade in
Korea.
StarCraft, I'm like, I don't know that one. But
No. Well, here's what I suggest, right? The Viper thing comes out, and then the player who's getting harpooned should be able to go into a thing where there's like circles, glowing circles on the tentacle, and you get to shoot them all so that the Viper doesn't yank your Thor in. It's like a little mini game that freezes everything
They have to get an arcade gun that's hooked to their computer and fire it all down.
Absolutely. You have a gun-shaped keyboard
and then eventually
that you pick up.
the chest opens up, revealing the heart of the boss. You have to shoot that in there to actually destroy its HP.
Because it's ridiculous that you can harpoon a Thor. So that's a good way to fix it, I think.
Okay,
what are we looking at here?
Very conservative tank push. He stayed way far back. He's hoping to just try to fish some units into that.
That was funny, wasn't it? What was that? It was like poke up there, draw him into one volley of tanks, run away. Huh.
Well, In this game, I mean, besides the Banshees, the Banshee has little to do with what the army here has done so far, because Terran's done almost nothing besides the attack with the Banshee. But Zerg's already in pretty good supply position. Granted, it's Roach Ravager, which just eats up supply much more quickly.
Yeah, and plenty of siege tanks being made, second factory being added as well. Looks like a Nidus coming up in 1-1 here for Dark. So it looks like one of these 1-1 timing pushes with Roach Ravager. But TY is doing a good job. He's kind of holding the center with these and threatening to go harass with them, because you don't have lots of anti-air to stop that. So I feel like tactically TY is playing this very smartly. Right? He's ready to try to punish Dark, but Dark's defense so far pretty strong.
Oh! Okay, good deflection there by Dark. Dark does not have it in Artosis.
No, not much of it.
He's not having it with these Medivacs at all.
Well, Dark is going to be maxed out and moving in. Okay, Nidus in the main. Let's see if TY can knock this out quickly.
Now he does not make any of these on siege. I believe there's a small number of infantry going here. He might be able to just get enough out here.
How many units is he going to have popping out, though? Because a lot of his army is like actually out in front of the base.
He has a second Nidus that's coming over here that's actually going to be to reinforce the main army. So he's going to use these roaches to buy time. This is why he's running away and try to maybe get some workers. And this just keeps Terran having to devote some attention to this attack. And then that Nidus is done. Oh, what? All right, I guess you can do that too.
I feel like it wasn't a perfect defense of the main base, but he didn't take the bait of Dark. I think Dark wanted him to move more units in so he could do some sort of attack.
Yeah.
But now we're in a position where Dark's army doesn't scale particularly well, and TY's does.
Out of all the games we've ever cast, is that the first time we've seen a Nidus pop up outside of a attack point and then the entire army retreats through the Nidus?
It might be.
You know what's funny about it is that Roach Ravager is pretty bad at retreating, so it's a pretty cool move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're just so cheap. Why not, right? Just make them everywhere. Spell your name in them. But, yeah, this is looking better and better for TY this game. You know, as he approaches 2-2, as he adds in some of these more siege tanks and liberators, I feel like he has a really reasonable chance to push Dark down.
Yeah, Dark has stayed on this unit comp for a very long time. TY was focused much more into getting into a better tech later on here. But keep in mind, with Nidus networks, you can always try to do these guerrilla counterattacks.
Yeah.
And that might allow Zerg enough wiggle room to tech out of this.
Yeah, maybe. But when push comes to shove, if they actually have a full engagement, TY will win that. With this 2-2 finishing and the amount of siege tanks he has, I don't know how many he has, but I'm guessing it has to be 10 to 12 siege tanks at this point. And that's pretty brutal against 1-1 Roach. Starting to add in some Marauders here as well. Concussive shells on the way.
Actually, pretty big deal denying that hatchery down there. Zerg would like to have as much territory as possible to force Terran to really have to work at pushing here. All right, he's going to try to go for a fight. He's mixed in a lot of Banelings here.
All right, some very good vials coming down.
Oh my god, the tank's targeting was like perfect. But it did allow these Roaches and Ravagers to come in here and target down these tanks. Now he's going to back up, not overextending there.
Ooh, the double Liberator here, denying a lot of mining. He will end up killing a few drones off at least. Looks like this other drop not going to get anything done though.
Baneling speed just now finishing.
Yeah, so definitely a very important upgrade.
Fighting into that with Lings walking and not rolling. Okay, takes out more tanks.
I feel like we need to see him sieging up a little bit quicker.
Yeah. This was kind of like some of Maro's games where the tanks literally sieged up as they were getting surrounded by Lings.
Yeah, it's almost like there's too much urgency for the Terran to push.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is what you want.
It's bad to have not enough urgency and you don't kill him quick enough, but if you're sieging like, I don't know, it does feel like it's maybe a little bit late on some of these. And now he's actually lost so many tanks.
Yeah, and this makes the Banelings much stronger because normally you're spreading the Marines out against the Banelings, forking them out in different directions while the tanks cover you. But as you can see here, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They just go ahead and go into the medevacs to try to drop somewhere else.
Well, maybe he can get something done with some light harassment. Obviously, he's trying to keep Dark busy as well. TY definitely, like, he lost his siege tanks. He didn't kill him with the push, so that's definitely a good thing for Dark. But I don't feel like TY is behind or anything right now.
Yeah, well, this is just not doing enough here.
Ooh, gets that Viper there as well. Still doing some reasonable harassment. You know, Dark has a lot of drones and everything, but TY has some fantastic upgrades. There's that one swarm host.
Let's see if he gets more.
He won't. It's always just one.
It's the hero unit, man. That's Dark.
It happens so often.
If Dark was the hero unit, he'd be the swarm host. One lone swarm host.
One lone swarm host.
With Psy Storm also.
I feel like he would be one very injured Ultralisk.
Yeah, okay. I'll give him
Or
that.
he would be a whole group of Ultralisks, but no Spire.
He has to be one thing, but also there's something else not present in order for him to exist.
Yeah, he can't be Ultralisks with air support is what I'm trying to say. I feel like that's so many of Dark's games.
Yeah, always having two Ultras with very low HP, barely holding off the push, and then winning the game.
Ooh, that Widowmine, 18 kills. That was crazy. 18 kill Widowmine doesn't do anything for you, Tasteless.
I wasn't tasteless then, Artosis. I was speechless. I just stayed quiet.
Bad.
Now,
damn, Tasteless brain doesn't have any more dopamine. That Widowmine got 18 kills, Tasteless. I can't accept you not going, wow!
So, Terran's actually pushing it here and might be able to take out this hatchery. We got a lot more banelings coming in, and a great counterattack over here. And I think everything Terran has is pushing.
Look at that.
It doesn't look like the banelings were able to finish, or they were killed off right when they were. We didn't have a screenshot of it. But the attack over here, these Banes can just roll freely. And,
Oh, get out of here!
Right.
15 kills, mostly banelings.
Oh,
Those two Widowmines, they're heroes.
Well,
What's the hero Widowmine unit called? Was called Widowmaker, and then Overwatch stole that from us too.
I don't know about this for TY. I think he did a lot of damage in that push, but he doesn't have almost anything going for him back at home. 45 workers remaining, trying to reclaim this fourth base over here. Now, that's not to say that Zerg didn't take a beating, but I think Zerg might be able to stabilize a little bit more easily. 5 more Ravagers being made with more lings. Looks like he's ready to just take on a counter push here. He doesn't want to tech up any further.
Dude, this game is all about these Widowmines, all right? These Widowmines are getting near 20 kills every time they go off. It's crazy. I feel like the Widowmine was just introduced to the game. How much damage it's doing.
Another force cancel there. There's no medevac over here. He might want to try to take the small army out.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. No, no, the Dark loses the loose conditions for the game.
That would be such a bad way
Imagine
to do
it
it.
dies.
Yeah. Game over.
That's it, guys. You know
Dark
the rules.
GG.
We're going into game 3.
Yeah.
Get ready for the upset Reddit thread. I lost a lot of respect for Dark when he didn't GG before he saw his Swarm Host hero unit die.
So, Ultralisk Cavern on the way. Definitely really like that. But I feel like these Widowmines, like, this is really, they are actually so important.
He's making more Overseers, but he's not getting rid of these mines.
He really
Here we go.
needs to, though.
Show me that value.
Oh, that was a good pull into TY's army.
Okay, really nice splitting here, but there is just so much Zerg everything.
Dude, Parasitic Bomb is so good. It's so good.
I believe the only place, well, I'm leaning forward here because our screen's so small, the only place that's really realistically being mined from is the one that Zerg is very close to, the fourth base here. If Zerg could push into that,
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean?
Oh no, for both sides, but, but Zerg's got a little bit more pressure
it's the
on
same
here.
base, basically, right? 17 drone kills from those. Damn, just make more Widowmines. Move all your factories on the reactors. You don't need Marines. The Marines keep dying. They're stupid.
Ghosts are going to come into play, but not a very strong economy behind this for TY to support it. The upper right has been claimed. Zerg is actually expanding more closely together.
Have you ever seen an abducted Widowmine?
I'm sure we've seen it at some point in time.
Right? I just want to see
Honestly,
an abducted Widowmine come over and destroy like everything the Zerg has. I feel like this would be the game for that.
It's pulled out of the ground, but it still operates like it can fire and just takes it out. Yeah.
Or maybe, I mean,
or when it
lands,
it's still under the ground.
That would be so funny. Oh my god.
So dumb.
So dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
Some more parasitic bombs going down, really gaining a ton of value here.
Oh, does Terran have enough here? Zerg starting to thin out. The Banelings are coming forward. Not as that much up here in the front with it.
Good spreading there by Dark, though.
We have all the Queens coming forward here. The rest of the Lings coming out as well. The army appears to be just a little bit bigger here. Or was, I guess I should say, for TY. But Dark stabilizing. He's starting to hold this off. We're probably going to have a lot more action over here in the center right.
These parasitic bombs have been everything in the whole world. He had like 10 medevacs a minute ago. It's down to 3.
Yeah, that is taking away a lot of the sustainability here for Terran.
If you still had 10 medevacs, that would be insane. Like, you'd never break it with these garbage units. Oh! The Widowmines are fighting back now for Dark. They're infested Widowmines.
Well, Dark regroups. It's become an incredibly scrappy game. I'm loving what we're seeing here. There's a lot of gas in the bank, so if Dark wanted to, he could make a lot of Banes to try to fight this here. There's not as many medevacs out and about. Uh-oh.
This is such a cool game right now. I love this type of game from Dark, where he doesn't really have that good of an economy and his supply is really low, but he has like 2 ultras. He's so good at this type of situation. Like this.
Yeah. To be honest, out of all the Zergs in the world, he might be the best at this. It's very, very low. Sometimes even fighting from behind. But look, TY is setting this up pretty nicely. I mean, this is enough Widowmines. It's hard to ever engage in without the Widowmines covering the other Widowmines to come into play, and you're still losing the fight.
We just saw that drop down in the bottom left. Trask cleaned that up for him. He needs to bring him over here, though, if he's going to hold on against this push.
Uh-oh. I think push came to shove. Oh, no. Widowmines everywhere.
Yeah. It looks, though, like TY's push is continuing to go forward. Look at this, starting to massacre these drones. Even the Changeling trying to get away. Oh, nice counterattack, though.
Yeah, I actually think TY's won this now. Even though there's 2 ultras out, back at his base, I think that the damage has been done. I don't believe there's any easy way for Dark to fight back and win in a counterattack across the map. Again, the only base it's mining now, realistically, is the 4th one here for Dark. Whereas TY has 2 pretty healthy bases.
Yeah, very different game from game number 1. Even the just the opening strategy in general from Dark, really relying on those mass roaches. But there's so much damage in the early game. It's like one of those games that you're probably not going to see another one that looks like this in the series.
Yeah, they both got hurt pretty badly at the start. GG. Dark simply taps out instead of letting the game go on any further.
Yeah.
Might as well maintain all of his stamina as he moves into game 3. We're tied up 1-1, though. TY proving that Dark does indeed bleed.
Yeah, a very strong victory there. Wondering what we're going to see for map number 3. I do want to see TY stay a little bit more bio-focused. Of course, Dark it shows such an aggressive style that game with the early push, getting so many SCVs, then taking so much from the Banshee into just mass 1-1 Roach. Not a whole lot of finesse there from Dark.
I think he just thought that TY would overextend, and what Dark would do is smash the overextension and then win in a long game. But instead, TY was pretty solid overall. We're going to King's Cove for game 3.
Okay, so definitely a macro map. See some crazy long games on here. We have seen a lot of mech here in the past. See what TY is thinking, what he's feeling for this one. Definitely a popular BC map.
And that game has loaded up, so let's start game number 3 with Dark versus TY. Nice.
He's learned commentating Maro.
That's right. I'll show you what a GSL champion does.
TY still doesn't have a championship. Isn't that crazy?
But Maro does, and this is what Maro does all the time.
That's true.
So now we got to watch and see how the Zerg is going to be playing and whether or not this sets up Dark to be in a bad position or not. Make it. Make it.
This is so far away. Like, it has to be Reaper, right?
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
If it was Marines, I think it would have put it one
You have to make it closer.
expansion over to the right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's been some interesting Proxy Rax Reaper plays from Terran lately. I wonder exactly what version we're going to end up seeing here. Because 3 Rax Reaper was getting popular for a little bit there. Obviously Dark, completely unaware at the moment.
He might suspect it, though. I mean, you probably anticipate in the best of 5 you're going to be proxy rush one of these games. Really? Is it that good if you have to lift and then land it again like that?
It was definitely a mistake.
That's not...
The placement of that was kind of funny.
You know? Yeah, it's just... When you see rushes like this, especially with the Reapers, it's so, like, literally half seconds make a big difference because the Reaper can snowball fights.
The one thing I guess could be said about that position is that if for something weird happens and the Lings get on top, you can put the Reapers behind the barracks and they're safe.
Oh, okay.
So,
I like that.
Yeah, if somehow he gets Lings on them, I can't imagine that actually occurring in this situation. It seems like a very unlikely thing.
Oh, he goes right outside vision. Right. And...
Not even a Queen up here.
Yeah, Queen about to pop out. Oh!
That looked painful.
Okay, Queen comes out. That'll zone the Reapers back out. And they're going to... Oh, not so fast. He says, I got 3. Oh, the micro's pretty sick.
Yeah, very nice micro thus far.
Oh, micro,
oh, careful, careful. Do not want to lose a Reaper here.
Micro. Okay, he's going to come over here. Up at the top. There's still more Reapers coming. Again, they heal. So if you're just able to do more damage and then get away, you can totally heal up.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with it so far, it seems. Okay, he is expanding behind this and teching. Love that creep tumor there. So helpful. Ooh! We did not lose that. Dark trying to mirror right now.
Regen starting here. Got to get that one that's weaker into the back. Good control. Nice targeting, though.
Is it over? I would say no. He's gonna turn around. Look at his runaway time. It's actually timed out with Zergling speed very, very well.
So the Lings are now out. As Artosis just said, I mean, with Ling speed, you can actually get a surround on them. So the Lings actually went towards the upper right, hoping that the Reapers were going to be parked there, ready for a counterattack.
Well, he actually did not kill that much. He forced a lot of Lings, though.
Okay, I thought he had gotten 2 or 3 drones, but apparently just 1. Yeah. So that's actually, I think, to be honest, you're guaranteed to get 1 drone because you're just going to surprise him because your screen probably won't be there looking for the Reapers.
We saw that drone. It was the one that you made slide on its butt towards the minerals.
Yeah.
It was holding gas when it died.
Yeah. So Dark's handling, I would say, perfect. Lings are there to be killed in that moment. You have to remember that Terran, doing the double proxy Reaper, it has sacrifices of its own. So as long as you're bleeding off Lings and not drones, you're going to be pretty happy with this and continuing the game on. So this is the scouting barracks. This is all just standard in these double proxy builds. You have 1 barracks you sack to try to get a glimpse of what they're doing. The other barracks goes back to aid in production.
Yeah, maybe for building add-ons if you're going mech, or just land and make some Marines. We don't know exactly what he's going for yet. We do have multiple Hellions now, so 6 Reapers and 4 Hellions is no laughing matter. Of course, we saw Dark throw down a Roach Warren at that natural kind of ramp next to the rocks. Look at that, a single Reaper. That's the one thing you don't expect.
Oh, all right. So he just wants to scout and see where the layer's at.
What just blew up there? Was that a Hellion? Ooh,
oh, wow. This is a sick little build here by TY.
Yeah.
And it's cool because, you know, the Zerg is so eager to drone up after it's seen this many Reapers, but it said you combo the Reapers together, and you can actually bounce. You can bounce things into the Hellbats if you're good enough, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this. He's getting right on top of a bunch of these queens.
Oh,
my God.
So sick! Oh! He would have gotten an extra life in Mario with that bounce.
Yeah, he would have.
Oh, he's so good.
These are not the skeleton Koopa Troopas either.
No way.
They're not coming back to life. That was sick, though. What a cool attack.
Oh, he's not done.
Oh, God. He's
Don't
just
you
everywhere.
past tense this play-by-play, Artosis.
Oh, I'm sorry. What a fool I am.
Wow, man. This is a really sick play. Look at that. There's not even drones mining.
Look at that.
The drones are traumatized.
He's had the armor upgrade going for 100 years. I mean, if you have the armor upgrade going, well, I mean, yeah, that goes onto flying units, but that normally means you're going for Cyclones. Unless, I guess, you're going for a mech and air army style. Oh! You see that drone push that queen in there? That drone had mommy issues.
Okay, that was good. We have another attack coming in, and I think this a counterattack is sort of unexpected here for TY. I probably was anticipating Zerg completely on the defense. He's throwing another Liberator in here. He's going to get another kill on the Queen!
Oh my gosh.
But, I guess the Banshee actually will just fend this off. Keep in mind, he's going to be microing in a bunch of different spots at once. Yeah.
Some of those
There's nothing sadder than watching Ravagers just try to get Lucky Biles off on a Banshee.
Yeah. 16 kills on this Liberator. That's wild.
He's taking his third. The Banshee has driven away the Ravagers, giving Terran ground control, map control, and now he switches into Bio. Now on the Zerg side...
Wait, is he switching into Bio?
I thought he was. Am I wrong?
I think he's making a few Marines.
Oh, no, hold on. He's making a second factory. I lied. Sorry. And on the Zerg side of the map, he's going into Spire.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm still wondering, like, he's getting Banshee speed, right? So it's clear that this is mech plus air. Yeah, what is this? Getting thrown off a bit there.
That sucks. Okay.
A lot of factories being added. Has he kept enough pressure on Dark? Has he done enough damage to Dark that maybe with this continued harassment he can go into a timing push afterwards?
The only way to tell is to watch for that timing push you were talking about to see if it does enough damage. The Banshees with speed, again, really taxing the Zerg here. And between the Liberators sneaking in here and Banshees coming in, I mean, it's so hard to just keep mining like you want to. Nice dodge.
Yeah, but this Liberator is not going to die yet. It hasn't killed any queens, and that's normally what happens.
Yeah, you have to at least kill one queen. Uh-oh. Oh. Damn, he's so fast with this.
Wow, that's so annoying.
TY is so fast.
Like, he is doing a lot of harassment right now.
This third base is barely mined at all.
Yeah, his multitasking is so strong. It's really one of his strong points. We got 3 mutas on the way.
Okay, it finally ends. So we now are going up to 9 Mutalisks. All 5 of the factories are done. Add-ons are completing.
Yeah, he's adding in some Thors now as well.
I don't see any turrets. Or I think there's 1 turret being made in the main here, but not a lot. We'll see how many mutas can actually come in here and how much damage they can do. This map's kind of funny because for the Terran's position at least, the 3 bases you have are actually all squished together pretty tightly. So it's not an insane amount of surface area to defend.
Yeah.
And you really can't get into the main without going past either the 3rd or the 2nd.
Yeah, you know, you have that kind of nice ridge there. Block up some holes with buildings. All right, here come the Mutas. Don't think that they're going to get too much done. It seems like TY has either scouted this or anticipated this. He has some defensive turrets up and plenty of Thors. Uh-oh.
So he's driving him back. Remember that in Game 1 we saw TY with some pretty impressive mech, but Dark just knew exactly how to steer the game into a long one where Terran was not able to capitalize on the mech itself. And he did that with Hydra Lurker, surprisingly.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're going to have it again here. It seems like we won't.
I don't think he has any sort of time to get into that.
Yeah.
I think this game has been so different. And the fact that there's speed banshees out, that'd be pretty strong against lurkers as well, I think. But he's making quite a few roaches. You can see he definitely wants to stay alive. Not sure if that's going to be doable, though. TY's army getting very scary indeed. Muta's really not finding very much.
Good catch here.
I love that he does not even get Cloak.
Yeah. Well, it's a different approach, right? You want the Banshees to just fly around and try to snipe stuff. You're trying to multitask out the Zerg. But, you know, with the Mutas coming in here, we're going to see how much damage these Mutas can actually get. Hype Tech is starting here. The Mutas are continuing to roam. Get a lot of good kills here.
Yeah, more and more upgrades coming down on both sides. I feel like TY's push should start quite soon here. Might be waiting for 2-2, though. No, he is going to go.
So, looking at the Zerg here, the Zerg is... The only real pushable spot is going to be just the hatchery at the bottom right here, but there's so much creep and so many Banes coming here. We're going to have TY be completely prepared. He needs to siege up immediately as these Banes are about to finish, and he has to target them down with those tanks. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Roach counterattack. We'll see what that can get done. Of course, these Banelings, without their speed quite yet, not nearly as effective. Oh my god, so few actually connecting there.
Some Garby Banes.
Yes, indeed. Speed just about to finish.
Oh!
Speed just about to finish.
That's like 8 seconds away. That's like, at least that's more like 20 seconds away when it's 8 seconds away, okay? So it just
really
now finished. It's been about a minute here, Artosis.
I know,
It's done. At least they're not Garbabo Banes anymore.
Garbabo Banes.
Garbtacular.
Garbabo Banes. Those are something I buy at the foreign food mart.
Oh, hold on. He's going to try to sandwich him, hit him from every angle here. And I guess when you have this much, you can just spray down Banes on Thors.
Well, that flank of the Roches was so fantastic as well. And that weird Thor army ends up being picked off, and now suddenly TY at half the army supply. Huh. So you're trying to tell me Blue Flame Hellion Thor is not the killing comp? Is that where we're at right now?
I don't understand the world, Artosis. So this is the moment to punch back twice as hard for Dark. TY does have the right idea with having these Hellions come in here and wipe out the workers, but the tank count is little, and the Ravagers, they flow.
Yeah, there's many of those, no doubt. Okay, throws down his Liberators. He has lots of tanks sieged and spread.
He's going to have a bile for every unit that is on the map right now.
Just about. He definitely is taking a lot of damage on this army.
Those 3 tanks on the high ground really helping out a lot.
Yeah, unable to bile those down. Nothing really supporting him in the air here. Dark retaking the base that was killed, and he does have an additional base.
These Vikings are really what you want right now, you know?
Oh, those are fantastic.
Yeah, those are great. He's like, let me know if you need me to land. I'll wait for the Banelings to be done.
They're kind of funny. I think the only thing that they could even possibly do is stop Overlords from swatting the high ground sieges. That's about it.
Uh-oh, he's pulling SCVs.
He looks scared for a moment.
It's just Ravagers. He needs more Lings to come in here. You need something in front of those Ravagers to fight.
Yeah, look at this. He's trying so hard to get onto that high ground. TY holding
steady. Oh my god, this Planetary is the real hero of this game. The building is an MVP this time around.
The inanimate object.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a good hold. Like, even the hold position on the ramp there, as all those Lings flooded in, he was dying to just get a peek at that high ground to throw his biles down, but unable to do so. And TY holding strong for now, but Dark's drones, like, he's got his economy. He's got some really reasonable upgrades. He's continuing to push his tech forward. Whereas I feel like I'm watching mid-game units get created by TY.
Yeah, Dark is incredibly good at staying on Roachling, Bane Ravager for like an insanely long period of time, in this case 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But we're going to see some higher tech here.
You see that Ultraless Cavern?
I do.
That is an interesting choice. I wonder if he's actually going to make Ultras here.
No, he's doing that for looks. Okay, this increases his property value on the map.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
It's kind of like having a chandelier in your house. Like, it doesn't really help, you know?
Don't chandeliers, like, spread the light beautifully, though?
Well, yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you get a lamp, Artosis.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what is a chandelier but a beautiful lamp?
There you go. My point made exactly. He's also going to get a Greater Spire to Nidus network, so I think he's actually setting himself up for a lot of options.
Yeah, he's getting everything. Look at that Ultra speed. Like, I do wonder if he's actually going to do anything with Ultras, though. It seems like a peculiar situation to make Ultras in. Damn. Yeah, there's Ultras. All right, cool.
Only 3. And
that's about
as
many as he makes.
That's the right number there.
Yeah. I'm interested. I like some of these off-brand unit choices that Dark makes.
Well, it does seem like Dark, as he gets into the very, very late game, he sets up to get everything that you can have as Zerg. And then he basically picks and chooses. He doesn't want to lock in attacks. He seems to want to keep the game feeling like it's mid-game when it's actually late game, because he has the Roach Ravager, and then...
I wonder if the Ultras are useful with the Lings, because the Ultras will kill Blue Flame Hellions really well. Something like that, like maybe pops them out the Nidus? Or maybe it's just for the flow of the attack moves around the map to keep control.
I bet it could be for the Nidus. You can come out there really, because instead of holding off and defending a base with an Ultra, you're defending the area with the Nidus. And then when you're about to lose it, you pop it back through. And then it becomes a Zerg's battlecruiser.
You know what else it does?
You come back, you transfuse it. Same thing as a battlecruiser. Artosis warping around.
It sucks up Tank Splash, too, because it's so fat.
It is.
Yeah, whereas if you Tank Splash Lings, you're kind of getting a lot of value. Tank Splash Ultra, it's just kind of the tank attack.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
He's just going to go ahead and breach this. And we're actually having a huge attack that's not on camera at the top center. Oh! Ooh. So close. He's going to Nidus right here. Oh, my God. He forced a lift.
Yeah, all sorts of things going wrong for TY right now.
Oh, sick.
What is this? What am I looking at, this army? Look at this.
It's nothing but the big Zerg units.
Yeah, it's the big units.
Yeah, he's just only going for the big units.
And then he puts them through a Nidus. He's like, all right, I gotta get out of here.
Dark, what was your strategy this game? He says, I looked at the size of all the units, and I noticed that the Ultralisks and the Ravagers are, in fact, physically the biggest units.
Whoa.
And I go, Dark, what is your strategy this game? He just slowly turns and goes back, whispering, big units.
Those Ultras didn't do anything, by the way.
No.
They just they walked along like they were the cool friends of the Ravagers.
Is he attacking his own building? Oh, no. All right, I'm turning around. I want to see TY's face. Let's look at TY's face. Get ready. Get ready. Has he noticed it yet? Okay, he knows.
He has no idea. He has no idea. He's like, wow, he must have had a lot of army there.
Yeah, I think he might have not known, man. I'm not sure.
That's like you remember that really old moment against Hydra? What was it, like MMA against Hydra or something?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that was the one where, what was it, Hydra killed his own building? Or was it MMA killed his own building?
I think MMA killed his own building, and then Hydra left the game because he was angry.
Yeah. Just like when Huck made the hallucinations, and then Hydra left the game, too.
Yeah.
Half of life is just staying in the game, guys. It's not showing up, it's staying in the game.
I tell you, that's one thing Dark's very good at.
Yes. Oh, there's Lings here. I just thought those were spontaneously combusting.
I mean, a little bit of damage being done on both sides here.
A Knight is coming up there at the upper right.
TY is really not minding very much. He's having a very hard time. This Ravager hit squad doing a great job. Dark is playing really nicely today. Yeah, I quite like his play.
He's so comfortable bringing the game out. I mean, it looks like it's back and forth if you weren't paying close enough attention, but then when you see how much Dark has, all the tech available, and the TY is just trying to get out of this little quadrant on the map.
Yeah. Hey, the thing is, TY had control for quite some time. He had some really cool and interesting moves he was doing, and then it just kind of didn't work when he did that big Thor attack that got flanked. Lost all his units. By the way, those rocks are almost dead just from Bane's hit him.
Oh my god.
Hey, the Ultras are back.
We're back.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
Remember
like
us? Deja vu? A glitch in the Matrix? Big units. Now here come the robots, though. They're pretty big, too.
The robots,
the
but
tanks,
they're not as big.
Tank's quite sizable. We all knew that, but...
Oh my god, it's the cinematic!
Shine,
go back!
Go back!
No!
It's the cinematic! The Vikings are fun! Heart of the Swarm cinematic! Oh, only this time the Vikings won. They're like, we just did that?
Screw those Heart of the Swarm
these
Vikings.
depots.
I hate these depots! I hate them!
They give the turn supply!
It's like
Quick, get me a Nidus to get me out of here! Uh-oh, flanked Vikings again! Heart of the Swarm trailer! Go!
Oh my God.
Someone do something!
Get the Ultra! Here we go! Look at those Vikings just rip him up!
Oh, the Hellbats got in the way.
Why does Shine keep going away?
Oh, that's a good catch.
This is a cinematic.
I know. Are we going to have a battle
the siege tanks to turn the tide of battle?
Are we going to have a battle cruiser just land on the map and blow up the level now?
Suddenly Kerrigan's giant Zerg battle cruiser comes in. Like, what? Is it shooting corruptors out?
She's
We don't
flying
even need those.
through the air. I'm like, is that allowed in the tournament? Dark, we have to ban you. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh! Infested Terrans.
Oh my god, he's just trying to be fancy
What's
now.
happening?
Look at this flank.
I'm
Look at that
taking
flank.
damage. I can't see.
You see that flank?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
All right, the big units win at the end of the day. The robots are not good.
Yeah,
it was not efficient. They were too big of Gundam fans. They should never have been going for the robots.
They look like Jaegers fighting against
They are.
Kaijus here.
Yeah, Kaiju Ultralisks.
But they're not driven by Tastosis, so they have no chance.
That's right. They were driven by two pilots that's brains completely incompatible.
Probably the Australian pilots or something. I don't know. Who cares? Maynard and Pig are in that. It just dies instantly, the Ultra. I'm like, yeah, no, that's how that goes.
Okay, so TY is in ruins right now.
Yeah, he is. He's got like nothing left.
Yeah, he has. Look at his minerals going up. Look how sad that is.
Yeah. He's making 2 Hellions right now. What are you going to do with those Hellions, TY?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with those?
Meanwhile,
Yes.
oh, Dark with the stealth play.
He's almost too fancy.
I know. He's like, where's he going to go with these?
You can tell he's trying so hard, too. Like, what, you want to win another GSL?
Boop. 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 There's submarines, Artosis.
Steal the SCV making the turret.
We're underneath the army now, Captain. Launch! Okay, here we go. I think this is the end.
I think so.
Oh, my God. All right. 2-1. 2-1, GG. Dark is a killer.
Yeah, looks strong there. Good hold against TY's very relentless aggression earlier on in the game. I feel like TY is bringing some very interesting builds, though. That was kind of a cool set of strategies coming out of him earlier in the game. Didn't end up working, but, well, I guess that's that. Game 4. Let's do it.
I'm worried this is going to be the last one. I almost forgot that TY actually opened up with Proxy Reaper.
That's
in that
right.
game. We got so far in that.
You only got 1 drone in 10 lanes. That was weird.
Yeah.
He made 6 Reapers.
But the game that TY won, Game 2, maybe he needs to go back to a little bit more of that style. I don't know. We're going to a break. When we come back, Game 4, Dark vs. TY will continue on. Do not go away.
out the story to another day. One night tells the next what he knows. Nobody hears their voice, yet what they say goes. Nobody hears their voice, yet what they say goes. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. It makes me feel alive again. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. My eyes are open wide again. The names they speak to us, the colors that cover us. Sun rises in light of my mistakes, follows its course to the other end. Nobody hears their voice, yet what they say goes. Nobody hears their voice, yet what they say goes. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. It makes me feel alive again. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. My eyes are open wide again. Everything under the sun, everything under the stars knows who it is, knows who to call on. Everything under the sun, everything under the stars knows who it is, knows who to call on. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. I can feel the heat, I can feel the heat. I feel cold. I feel cold inside myself.
2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 3. Codes Reversal.
Codes reversal. I don't know if we're going to see a reversal this time.
Oh, I mean, I think that TY is. It was an interesting strat last game.
He needs to avoid Zerk lasting too long, getting too much tech, having too many resources. That's what he needs to do.
It's hard to stop Dark from doing that though, because he does not like rush to even late game. He will stay in that mid game unit set for a long time. He's using off-brand unit sets as well.
Yeah.
He's a hard player to play against.
We're going to go to Winter's Gate for Game 4. If Dark wins this, he'll be our first player in the round of 4. If TY wins, we'll go to our 5th and final game. That's loaded up now. Let's go.
Fight.
This map has inflammation. There's a pimple growing underneath there.
Gosu Crew Dark.
Can't pop it yet.
Do you remember the Zerg player named Seal?
StarCraft 1?
StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2? No, I don't actually.
Splice TY.
He just came into my mind randomly, if I recall correctly. He was
Korean
one of those
player?
Zerg players I was in love with, and he had like great creep spread, but he never really did much.
Korean player or not
Yeah,
Korean player?
Korean player.
I have no memory of this guy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right. Just popped in my mind.
Again, guys, those who came to the studio, welcome. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah.
I know the weather's been pretty...
It's rainy today.
It's raining. It's going to be raining all through the night, too.
Yeah. It's okay.
But even though it's nice to be indoors when it's rainy, but it is kind of a pain to get out of your house or hotel and come down here. So welcome. Thanks for coming down.
I mean, you could always use an umbrella.
Yeah, it won't keep you totally dry. A little bit of an inconvenience, Artosis.
That is true, yeah.
Whenever you're on the train, you're in a taxi, you got your umbrella, you're like,
I'm going to get a little tiny bit wet. My
feet are going to get wet. My shins are going to get wet. Yeah.
I hate wet shoes. Wet shoes are annoying.
It's how you get rot foot, trench foot. Lieutenant Dan warned us about Artosis.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Keep your feet dry.
Got to be careful with that. Whoa, or third command center. It's fun being a dummy. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect here. Again, well, Dark is one of the players that will mix it up and do some different things that become interesting. But really, it's TY I'm looking at.
I do think this is a matchup where we really just want to wait and watch and see what TY is going to try to do. Because even though Dark has been aggressive in the past, I feel like the way Zerg is now, it's disincentivized Zergs to really be crazy early on and instead just like make, you know, what they need and try to outlast the Terran.
So just some light harassment. Not expecting anything really to get done there. Overlord speed rather quickly here. That's kind of cool. So he wants to get his scout done right away.
So what do you think? TY going to go more bio this time around? Or do you think we could have a third attempt at mech that might end up with a failure?
It's so hard to say. Like, TY is one of those players that's really good with both. I feel like bio play gives him a slightly higher chance to win. The thing is, I am a player that is somewhat known for enjoying mech and thinking mech is good. But right now in this matchup, I'm not digging it very much.
Yeah, I think it lets Zerg off the hook a little bit too much. You have to completely rely on just that harass, and it's not the same kind of harass as you're not building up with, I think, with the same units you have, like if you go bio, where you can harass, and then drop, and then hit somewhere, and then maybe push in. With a lot of the poking you do with mech, it's like, if you have starport units, hold on a second, let's see how much.
It seems like you can't make an army that's really impossible to stop with mech.
It does seem like that, yeah.
It doesn't scale as well right now as it did. Wow, not really getting much done with those.
Oh, I was like, does it not have speed? That took me a second.
Oh, there's an armory. It looks like we're going to have Hellbat Liberator.
Well, that did pretty well. I'm thinking of Reaper Hellbat, excuse me. It's not the same thing at all.
Yeah, Hellbat Liberator is good, though. I mean, that's...
If you can dart around the map enough, yeah.
You know, you force the Queens to come out and fight the Hellions / Hellbats, and then the Liberators sometimes can get a lot of damage done if you bring them in from another angle. What are we looking at right now? What is so interesting?
Yeah. There's nothing I can cast off that screenshot. All right.
Like, I must be missing something. Like, yeah, he has 2 Overlords there. That's super sick. What? What?
Shine's like, dear God, I left the iron on. Okay. The push is going to be coming here. This actually happens a lot on these maps where there's stuff to slow down, things moving through the center, but you're still pretty close, and so players deem it still probably worthwhile to come through the center.
All right, here comes the push.
All right, he's got some Marines here. He's morphed some of those Hellbats. One does go down. There's no medevac here, so the damage that gets on these is going to be permanent.
Yeah, the Marines adding some good DPS against these Queens right now. A lot of units coming down. What is the Liberator doing, though? Finally gets into position. Took a little bit.
Yeah, but already the ground attack has been thwarted. There's a Viking on the ground.
Yeah, lands a Viking there as well. Ooh, maybe these 2 last Hellions can get something done, make this worthwhile.
I don't know, Artosis. The push is not stopping, apparently. Oh, it is now. He's turning around.
Yeah,
there were more units rallied across the map. I don't think that did enough.
No, that didn't seem good enough. Like 5 drones. The thing is, he even had a reasonable amount of Queens left over, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Nidus Network. Counterplay in action here.
Yeah, Queen Ling counter even. He's going into bioplay from here. It's just too much. Uh-oh, Tasteless. Sue might be out of a job.
Yeah, I think Sue is going to have to go back on that whole... He's going to have to fall back on that pro gaming thing.
I think TY should come upstairs
e-gamer.
and we should send Sue home, and Sue only gets half pay for today.
Yeah, I think so. I think TY is probably sad he's going to lose GSL. I think we're like, no, not so fast. Get your caster suit on and go upstairs.
Flying in with the Speedlord.
Like,
looking for a space for Nidus.
What are you doing? Just want to see your tech? Okay, you didn't switch into Mac. Then he's like, actually. Oh, he's like, I'll make a turret here in case. Ah!
TY frantically going up into the main base.
Yeah, and there's also going to be Lings here to counterattack.
Really
oh,
nice.
Dude.
Well, that's going to force the Nidus to get through no matter what.
Yeah, oh, here come all the Queens. Transfusions for years here.
My God.
Oh, my God, another Nidus coming in here. Dark.
That's it.
Is not done winning GSLs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, not looking like it. TY, I think, put up a pretty good fight overall, but Dark a bit too strong here.
Stim is very close to where this attack is, so losing that would hurt.
He's got, like, nothing left here. Look at this. Dark is on 62 workers. Even if, like, all this exploded right now, he'd be fine and win a macro game.
Transfuse is coming down.
Look at that. Queens get out. TY finally cleans it up.
So
38
crazy.
workers left over.
Yeah, at this point in time, Dark nearly doubles workers.
Yeah, Infestation Pit on the way. I guess TY can try a 1-1 stim timing, right? There's no real upgrades here for Dark. Only Baneling speed. So maybe through some amazing micro, he can start to work his way back some. It's funny, the unit loss thing looks a lot closer than I feel this game is right now. 2 Infestation Pits. Must be a mistake. This is the Artosis Train of Thought, Stream of Thought cast right now.
Thank you for joining us here.
Stays quiet, and I just read things and go, oh, I wonder if that's a mistake. Yeah, I think it probably is. Huh.
Well,
the game's more close than I think it is. That's interesting.
You know what's funny is Dark is so everywhere in these games. I'm kind of in awe, to be honest. It's crazy how good he's looking here. I mean, he did this amazing attack, and even though we see it's like even in supplies right now in a lot of ways, he destroyed so much infrastructure.
He
what
messed up everything, man.
Yeah, and now Dark again is in this place where he can propel himself forward. And I don't know what exactly TY can do to stop it. Now, I don't think Dark is there yet, but he's definitely getting set up for that. We see another base being taken here at 6 o'clock. There is a push coming out now. But TY is staying on 3 bases. I guess that's about as easy as it can be to hold off counterattacks. It's on 3 bases, but...
Well, I mean, TY is maneuvering. We'll see what he can get done here. His upgrade advantage is not going to last much longer. Spainling counterattack.
Oh my God, there's no way to save these workers! Workers! Okay.
Sometimes it's okay to let them attack.
Yeah.
Hey, is TY actually just going to break him?
Well, he did use all his Banes in a counterattack. Was this a mistake? I guess the question is, can Zerg produce enough? He's got a lot of queens, but this number of infantry is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, as long as you don't let the Banes hit you, the queens aren't going to do that much.
Not that many medevacs here, but hold on. 20 more lings are coming. The queen count is about to be thinned out. Okay, I think actually Dark just threw so hard here.
Huh.
He just has enough. Now, I don't know how much more energy is on these medevacs, but it's like just lings being made, I think.
Looks like he'll still end up technically holding it. Lose that base. He has another 2 on the way, though.
He can't make Banes right now. He's actually having to remake his Bane lings.
Oh, that's funny.
But there's something coming down here to reinforce. We're going to get a shot of it on screen in a second. Nope.
Huh.
It was not enough.
Oh, that's funny. I thought that Dark was going to be able to win that with the amount of SCVs he killed with that Nidus and the fact that he had 62 drones behind. It really felt to me like he was going to run away with that.
Here's the thing, man. I don't think it was the correct play there for Dark to try to counterattack with all his Banes. You can counterattack with some of your lings, that's fine, but you actually need the Banelings to fight the army.
You know what else?
The fact that he barely kept his army alive in that fight. Had Banelings come in early on, he would have won that. Dark would have won that fight, and he would have kicked TY out of the GSL.
You might be right. You might be right. Also, this is something I definitely realized and noticed many times with Queen Ling Niduses against Protoss. They're very deceiving. Like, it seems like it's not that big of an investment from Zerg sometimes, and it seems like it does a lot of damage. And then suddenly, you know, we saw a lot of games where we thought that the Zerg had it won, and then Protoss just is like, oh no, don't worry, I have like 1 unit and a Warp Prism, so now I kill you. But, I don't know, very, very weird.
The last game is going to be on GSL Cobalt, the best kind of Cobalt. And we're going to find out who will be the first survivor in the round of 4. Let's go.
Gosu Crew, Dark. Splice, TY.
So we have vertical spawns here. Interesting what this one looks like. We saw that just bonkers game. Who was that between? Was that Solar and Maru that had the crazy game here where Maru somehow pushed in these same positions to like the bottom right?
Yeah, that was Maru for sure.
That was a crazy game. That really looked like that was going to be a Solar victory too.
It's incredible because it's so hard for Terran to push a Zerg who's expanding towards the cross spot.
Yeah, he's expanding so far away from you at that point. Feels like the supply lines can just be interrupted. You just send a little bit of cavalry in there, there's no way you're getting food to your troops.
It's also, this map is so big. This map takes up as much space as you pretty much can on a map this size. When I say take up space, I mean with actual places to build stuff and move army. Some maps, which are quite big, do not take advantage of all that space. And they want the map to be smaller and tighter.
It's a gigantic map. It's like the Overlord immediately finding where he is, and TY will immediately find where Dark is. Which kind of makes the map a little bit smaller, at least for a bit.
Yeah.
You don't expect
ambiguity.
anything to be on the right for a long time. I wonder what style this will bring. I feel like you do want to go bio here. Can you imagine winning a game with mech on this map?
No, I cannot.
It's hard to imagine winning a game with mech on even like Kingsco. We see, you know, a lot of the mech games have a hard time. Wow, that was a sick kill.
Get wrecked. Got the first drone.
He did. He got wrecked. That was an important drone too.
Yeah, that was among one of the only little victories, or I guess real victories, you can have early on in a TVZ.
Look
Roach
at that.
Warren
Pulls the trigger. Says, screw it. You want to play it like that?
He's angry.
He's
Artosis.
angry at him. They used to be friends. They're not now.
Not anymore.
I love it.
Yeah.
Pop in SCV micro.
Oh, cover me. Oh.
No way. Whoa. He's actually going to save them both like that.
Yeah. He should have those two
You
SCVs
see
merge
this
into an
micro?
Archon.
Oh, my God. This micro, this is what these stupid air duct things were meant for.
Oh.
Throw a grenade in there. Throw it in.
Do it.
Oh, well, I guess you can't without the vision. But
Throw it next to it. Ah!
that was cool.
TY's got this, Artosis.
I like the micro battle.
7 roaches inbound. These roaches are going to battering ram their way up to the entrance. Zerg's trying to disguise what's happening. Note he pulled the roaches back. He's trying to disguise this. He's pushed them out of vision. This is actually a pretty good rush on this map because there's so many paths you could take to send the roaches down.
You know what's funny, though? He's making Marauders.
That's pretty good against roaches.
Yeah, better than Marines. Better than Reapers.
Dare I say they counter roaches.
Yeah, you dare say. Ravagers not as much, but still.
Yeah. Okay, he's coming forward now. First SCV should go down. There's the Marauder. Now he wants to take the most injured roach and morph it into a Ravager for cost efficiency. And loses the first roach. He's going to lose the second roach.
Yeah. Some frantic micro here. You see even the mules in the battle.
Yeah. Well, you know in a moment like this, when you see an attack like this, it's more important that you just hold off their army.
Yeah. Your micro has to be precise.
Yes, and then you have to try to remake as much as you possibly can.
So Stim's still on the way here. Seems like that roach attack, I mean, killing 5 SCVs is not nothing, I guess, but it definitely doesn't feel worth it. I think when Stim is done, though, he's going to have Stim and a medevac and a bunch of Marauders. Like, is he going to have 4 Marauders?
I guess so.
That's pretty microable.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with that. Man, you know, this is so crazy because Dark's shown such excellent late game that the idea that he might lose this because his scouting drone was killed off, or not scouting drone, his third hatch drone was killed off, and then he tried to mix it up into this Roach Ravager attack, and then Terran holds it. And I mean, this is going to be, if he loses, especially after the success he's had, ouch.
Well, this is going to be a Hellion drop coming up now. He's actually bringing it all the way around to the main base, it looks like.
Oh! Oh my God.
Some fancy flying.
Yeah, no kidding.
Iceman over there.
All right, he's going to go for, okay, 3 kills.
Did you see the flame on that?
I didn't see the flame, but they died. They actually lit themselves on fire. 8 kills. He picks up, has 3 inside. Could unload again somewhere else if he wants to. The Viking's still alive. Let's not forget that,
gosh,
too.
It's crazy.
10 kills.
All right, that was definitely very worthwhile. Things are looking up for TY.
But don't forget
his defeat overall. I mean, here he is.
He's doing it for the casters. Casters around the world and all different
He just wants
esports
you to
are
feel
watching
good about
right
yourself.
now.
Yeah.
Yes. Saying you guys can do this too, casters. Thanks, TY. You signed my casting microphone.
You have a casting microphone that you carry around.
Yeah. Only when I'm casting stuff outside the studio, you know. Now, the CC's going to land here. again, Dark is like got the best defense even when he gets behind.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
Doesn't mean TY's guaranteed to win this at all. This is really. Oh, I guess he's just repairing. Okay. Yeah, the CV's just stuck in there. I'm like, huh. So TY has an opportunity to push. He has an opportunity to do damage, but Dark is amazing at defense, and this map is huge, which Zergs love for holding off pushes. So that damage was done early on. Doesn't necessarily mean TY's got this in the bag just yet.
No. This could be difficult, though, right? His upgrades are going to be quite a bit behind. We've already got combat shields. 1-1's going to be coming up here.
The targeting is pretty good. Picks up, runs away.
Focuses down what he can.
Yeah, mostly losing Marines, not losing Marauders.
Second factory is coming up right now for TY as well. So getting ready for that stronger push a little bit later on. Probably many more siege tanks.
We have an attack coming here once more. I don't see any defense just yet. Okay, Zerg's droning up pretty heavily. I think that right now Dark's pretty confident. Besides these few drops, there's not going to be anything major for a little bit. Now, 1-1's about to finish, so we'll see if Terran is deciding to push sometime soon here. But okay, here we go. Unsieging. No, he's just repositioning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I'd love to see him start 2-2 immediately, though. That's, you know, when you have an advantage like the upgrades, just having these windows where you have 2 upgrades is so fantastic, but we don't see him doing that quite yet. He's making quite a few Liberators and Siege Tanks. Second Factory's add-on just finished up.
Zerg is rapidly approaching being maxed out. Another little fight over here. Good pull away.
Do you think we're going to see an attack out of Dark?
I don't think so. I don't feel like either side is going to be that interested in trying to attack.
Yeah, it's very far away. Like, I think the first real attack will be TY.
Well, if you're Dark, I think you just want to take up the whole map.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
you want your creep spread far, far, far out there.
I think we're definitely going to have some Nidus Worms, though.
Yeah, and I love, oh my god, he's making 2 hatcheries in his main right now. I love that. I was literally just going to say I think he needs macro hatches, because in a situation like this, TY's attack is going to be fearsome, and you need more than your max supply with this type of army.
Right, you need to be able to reinforce as the attack is happening. The push is coming out, and he's going to push through the, what do you call this, the bridge, I guess, up here. Oh, those were some great shots on those Banes. He's going to try to engineer a little bit further. Oh, man, taking some corrosive bile hits.
Moving his siege tanks up a little bit. They're stifled reasonably well, so it's going to be hard for Dark to actually do a full engage. Looks like he's going to give up that base. I think that's actually a really good call. It's a hard call, but that is a terrible area for him to fight in.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Artosis. I think it's necessary to sacrifice this, give up the position, because he's already now stretched out to the top right side of the map.
Yeah, it feels like he just loses otherwise.
Terran can't push through that area anymore. In fact, I think we might see Terran turn around.
Yeah, he is turning around. Good call there. And, you know, he can reinforce, get his maxed out army together. 2-2 is on the way. Not quite halfway done, though.
Okay, a push now through the middle. Oh, my God. A lot of Banes here, not quite connecting where they need to, but the Ravagers take out the tanks. Really, the Banes are intended for the Marines. The Ravagers' corrosive biles are intended for the tanks.
Another drop going down in the main base. Some constant harassment pressure here from TY. Sure, his supply is a little bit lower, but I think he's keeping really good control of this game. Dark, though, starting to get these really big armies. And if he continues his creep spread, if he can keep his creep spread like mid-map, how do you even attack the top right area?
This is the thing, is I don't know how you do it. I almost feel like you want to have... no, maybe not. I was going to say maybe you want to have him try to, you know, just use up more resources on his side of the map, and then you slowly take your half. But then again, that Zerg never end up spending as much in the half-half map situations. The Brooded Learning Infestor becomes just too good.
Yeah. Still trying to come out.
Oh my God, this is
funny
bad.
Looking thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pick up most
Fortunately,
of it.
he had enough.
Yeah.
Another drop over here.
Oh, into the natural this time. Maybe not perfect targeting. He has to get out of there.
TY might be hemorrhaging too much here and there.
Yeah, he's keeping him busy, though. And really, I mean, the Marines, I think, don't matter all that much. Dark's still on this kind of low-tech unit set. Going into Ultras, though, I love it. It's really going to help him to hold on against some of these attacks.
Okay, this is the kind of kill TY needs. He's going to be able to take out this hatch over here. He's going to go for a rare move, targeting that down, and then trying to get a pickup. It works. You got to be careful when you do that, because sometimes you lose your entire army and you don't get the building.
Yeah. It's a big kill, though.
Or you get the building and you lose your entire army and it wasn't worth it.
That can happen, too. So he's going back right now. Some Vipers are out, throwing down his parasitic bombs. I love the usage of the parasitic bomb. It's just so smart to whittle that down over time. Maybe the first few don't kill anything, but
eventually it will kill everything.
You don't really have that much time to sit around and repair medevacs all day.
Yeah, I mean, usually you're too preoccupied moving units around and healing stuff, so, I mean, it really does start to stack up.
Yeah, there's so many important things to do.
Is TY taking the island at the bottom?
Oh, maybe he is.
Center?
Yeah, it looks like
there's something floating
maybe he
down
brought
there.
Yeah, he brought those medevacs. And oh, that's cool. And it looks like he's going to use his siege tanks for defense. I think that's actually kind of smart, because at this point, the siege tanks aren't going to be nearly as useful. They're just kind of too slow and clunky. And how would you kill this as Zerg?
You can't Nidus it if there's a siege tank there.
Yeah, 2 siege tanks. He should be able to just kind of hold on. Planetary and 2 siege tanks plus a few turrets. That's a strong defense, and that's a base that probably he'll be able to mine out straight up. And that's the last easy one to take, too. He has to go really far away for his next base. This is becoming a very exciting and interesting game.
I like that Terran has this island now.
Yeah, that makes me feel comfortable for him.
And also, let's point out that it's much harder for Terran to actually stretch into the bottom right than it is for Zerg.
Yes.
I mean, this map is huge. Okay, we have this attack that's actually getting pretty crazy. Okay, the Banelings are coming in. There's no siege tank to target these down, so eventually with good pickups,
that was really efficient. Looks like the Vipers are actually going to get in there, though. What? Is this a thing? Had no idea, but that's cool.
Welcome to the first month of StarCraft 1.
Look at that. Oh, that's super cool. That's so annoying.
This is like the first time people played Lost Temple.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
my God, it's a Terran map. That is super cool, though.
I don't know if it's going to help that much in the long run, but
no.
I like it.
But
Widow Mine drops.
For what he invested in it seems fantastic. Just yank the tank over there. Oh, my God.
I almost choked on my drink.
So funny.
So funny.
What a silly way to deal with that.
Again, the tank really in siege mode. Should probably pull the Viper into it when he tries to do that, but like we talked about with the Thor earlier in the
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, we're waiting for the real final solution here. Is it going to be this push in the middle? Okay. I just don't know if it's enough. I think Zerg just completely
he'll kill this.
Wipes out everything.
That was a weird
That was like
push.
Nowhere near enough, you know.
It was like kind of highly technical.
This is so funny. He's targeting the Nidus for a second.
Definitely would be a good thing to kill off.
And we've got nukes coming here, but how good are nukes really going to be on this map?
Well, everything's so spread. Maybe an occasional nuke somewhere is good. I don't know if the Maru, 5 nukes per minute is going to be that good. Right, we have Corruptors starting to be added in here as well. I really like the combination of the Ling, Bane, Ravager, Ultra, Corruptor.
I'm excited by how much TY has, but I do not see any way he's going to come in here and stop the Zerg from having all these bases. Oh my God!
That is the silliest thing I ever saw in my whole life.
Planetary gets it so right.
Yeah.
Right.
Planetary does, but he should just spread those slightly. What are you doing?
He's going to.
That was an F2 right there.
He's going to deny mining from himself over his own natural. Okay. Again, Zerg's banked up a lot of minerals, not a lot of gas. Not much minerals or gas here for TY. TY is finally beginning to trek towards the bottom right. There's almost no more expansions available in this game for Zerg.
And see this area that TY has set up. This is what originally, like 3 years ago, TY was doing against these late game Zergs that other Terrans were not. This kind of like missile turret, liberator, Widowmine Ghost play when he's repositioning these all over the place. It's really it's a scary combination of units. It's very, very efficient.
Okay, another huge attack. I think Terran might have enough that Zerg is going to get pulled through a meat grinder here.
Yeah, the Corruptors are like helping quite a bit.
The
few
really...
Ultras lead in the charge there.
Wow, okay, I stand corrected. And already remaxing out here is Dark. You know, it's funny, he had so many minerals banked up, but I guess if you have this many Ultras, all you need is Lings with them. Lings and a few Banes, well, which are cheap to come by when you have this much of the map.
If you don't have, like, Liberators or something like that hitting the Ultras, they just do not die. Ouch. I'm a little bit stressed by those siege tanks on the edge there.
Yeah, because it's...
Look at these Corruptors come in. Oh my god. He better start repairing that right now.
I don't know that he is. I think he's already taking damage on too many spots on the map. Oh no!
Look at that, the Overseer tanks some hits. This is...
Well, that is...
That was a good move by Dark.
You know, normally that's not the play that we go back and talk about, but the fact that he denied that island from mining...
TY doesn't have money to
TY can't even get those SCVs to mine somewhere else useful for now.
All right, a lot of Liberators set up. The Corruptor's starting to just plow through them, though. Wow, and after a start that looked pretty good for TY, Dark going to take it down 3-2. A very different series.
I'm sure that there were things that TY could have done better, but that seems like a very strong map for Zerg against Terran, to be honest.
Yeah, it does.
It just seems like, you know, there's probably a limit to how far apart you want a Terran and a Zerg to be. If Terran is generally burdened into pushing or dropping and harassing, to have additional bases and potential cross spots like that where it's like that far away.
Well, it's so hard for Terran to take more bases or to attack in a situation like that.
But to be honest, Dark played amazingly in the other games as well.
Yeah.
We'll now be going into an interview. Dark is our first player to advance to the round of 4 in Season 3 of the GSL Codes. And that interview will happen now. We're going to see how he's feeling.
Hello guys, we're going to have an interview with Dark, the first player to advance to the round of 4. Congratulations. Thank you. And it's your third round of 4. It's 3 seasons in a row. How do you feel?
태양 형이 진짜 준비를 너무 잘해오신 것
I can tell that TY's made thorough preparation.
정신이 너무 없어가지고
And you know, I was out of my mind playing the game.
사실 준비는 박명우 선수도 대단했습니다.
But it felt like you prepared really well too, Dark.
달랐거든요. 와, 마지막 세트 바퀴 러시부터 뭐 가시지옥.
In the last set, you went for the rush, and then you going for the Nidus. You went for a lot of various builds.
준비 과정 좀 들어볼 수 있을까요?
Yeah, how was your preparation?
16강 경기 때
In round of 16,
제가
I think.
하도 무감타만 해가지고
I played too many Bloodlord Infestors, so this time I came up with some other builds that were quite aggressive. If it was before going for the Bloodlord Infestors, it would have been an easier win for sure.
그냥 좀 메타와 다르게 준비해온 것 같아요.
But you know, this time I prepared a build that is not quite similar to the current meta.
마지막 세트 이야기 더 해볼게요.
Okay, let's go with the last set.
바퀴 러시가 막혔는데
the Roach Rush was fended off.
잘 기다리고 있었잖아요. 이게
And then
막혔는데
the Marauders were really prepared well.
정말 대단합니다. 이렇게 박명우 선수가 버틸 수 있는 그 힘의 근원이
And Dark,
도대체
how are you
뭔가요?
able to stall out the game?
그것까지는 잘 모르겠고요. 근데 저도 불곰 나왔을 때는
Not too sure.
이거 진짜
But when the opponent did go for the Marauder, I knew that I was in a dangerous situation.
그래도 여기서 이렇게 허무하게 질 수 없으니까.
But then I regained my poise and I knew that I can't lose here.
이렇게 멋진 경기력, 또 완벽한 준비성 보여주시면서
immaculate performance and very well prepared.
됐습니다. 자, 이번에도 우승을 노리시는 만큼
Now you're looking for another championship, Dark.
4강 상대 바로
In the round of 4,
됩니다. 이병열
you will be
선수,
playing against Rogue
선수,
or
두
Zest.
선수가 있는데 혹시 저저전 이제 좀
Have
준비되셨어요?
you prepared well for the ZVD matchup?
준비하는 과정이고요. 근데 뭐
I'm kind of still practicing for that, but I do want to avoid the ZVZ as much as possible. But on the other hand, in order to beat Zero, I need to really refine my ZVZ.
주성우 선수라고 한다면 조금 더 마음이 편한 건 있을까요?
Do you think you'll feel more comfortable going with Zest. Yes, definitely.
정말 솔직한 답변인 것
Very
같습니다.
candid of you,
자,
Dark.
이번에도 우승을 노린다고
And
하셨습니다.
Dark, he's
마지막으로
aiming for his
팬들에게
championship again.
한마디
Any
들어볼게요.
last messages to your fans?
진짜 거의 그냥 1년 내내 쉬지 않고 달려오고 있는 것
For the 1
같은데
year, I've been practicing really hard.
마지막까지 얼마 안
And now the
남았으니까
journey
마무리 잘할 수 있도록
is not too far ahead,
다시
so I'm going to try my
한번
best to the
사강
last
진출
minute. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 3연속 4강에
Okay.
성공한 박명호 선수
We have
만나봤는데요.
one of the
계속해서
4 slots
GSL
filled in.
이벤트
Artosis. Dark moves
안내해드리겠습니다.
on.
Yeah, looking like he might possibly be able to win back-to-back GSLs. He's looking super strong.
No, he's looking terrifying. And really some of the best late game and so many different approaches to how to take on a Terran as well.
Yeah, that was kind of the exciting thing about tonight. It was some of the game's kind of very confusing positions that we just don't see. But Dark knew how to handle them. He kind of invented this new way to play, and that makes him very unpredictable going forward.
Hang on to your tickets. If you're here in the studio at the end of the show, we are giving away photo albums and very cute StarCraft t-shirts. We'll be right back after the short break, so don't go away. Next match soon.
When you were all alone, I'll be there for you.